Welcome back to MBOX Frustrated User Guide. Today we have an X98 MAX Plus. Here's your pronunciation.
Neng,
which means
able.
So apparently it's an able cat. Now I bought this from Temu on July the 10th, 2025. So I've had it a few weeks now. Is it a deal or a dud? Let's find out. So here's the box that it comes in. Plain white box. But interestingly enough, on the back, we have product name, TV box, brand Puersit, model X98 MAX Plus. We have the manufacturer's name. Here's a phone number, and here's an email address. Now, normally, this info is not on any TV box, but the fact that it's listed here shows that at least somebody thought that this was a really good product, and they signed their name to it. So that's encouraging. Here's your European rep, here's your Great Britain rep, United Kingdom. Very, very encouraging. And here's the box itself. Now, we've had a lot of cats here, stray cats that the Divine has sent to us. None of them had round ears. They all had pointed ears, but this apparently is a cat. Or is it? Sure looks like a panda to me. Here's your remote. Looking great so far. So let's test the HDMI cable. That's the first thing we want to do, because as I've said before, dozens of TV boxes tested, not one has come with a properly wired HDMI cable, no matter what I paid for it. So we've got it plugged into this tester, and we're going to turn it on and test it. And we can see line 2. What's this one? Line 5, 6, 7, line 8, and 11, 8, 2, and 5, all out. Well, at least line 13 is connected. That would be this one. If line 13 is disconnected, there's no hope that computer electronics control is going to work. But once again, right off the bat, manufacturer names on the box or not, we have a defective, incompletely wired HDMI cable. Now, before we hook this up, X98 MAX Plus, let's go over some of this hardware, because it's incredible. We have 2 USB ports here. These are black color. That normally means it's USB 1, but they do work. I've already had this box connected. I can verify you plug in your USB drive, no problem recognizing whatever you plug in here, it works right away. And this is a TF card slot. I currently have a 128 gigabyte TF card stuck in here. That works fine too. Absolutely no problem. You stick it in, it's recognized immediately. Goes in upside down. Now I have much more expensive boxes here, and they don't have, some of them at least, don't have this TF card input. So even though the box 2 gig RAM, 16 gig ROM. That's twice as much as my Fire Stick. My Amazon Fire Stick only has 1 gig RAM and 8 gig ROM. You can add 128 here. I don't know what the upper limit would be, but all of a sudden I've got 128 plus 16. What's that? 144 gigabytes of storage. Pretty good. Here's a white USB connector. That usually means it's USB 2. That one works fine. This is a AV jack. You can use this with older TVs with the red, white, and yellow connectors on your TV. You can use it with stereos. And this takes the red tipped cable. They don't tell you that in the instructions, but there are 24 ways to wire an MBOX AV cable. It takes this one. Also has HDMI out, and both of these 2 video outs, they're not exclusive. It's not either this or that. They can both be connected, and they both work at the same time. One does not knock out the other. That's unique and very good. You also have an optical audio out for use with modern stereo equipment. This also works. So you've got a wealth of hardware here, and it all works. It works very well. Unfortunately, big problem. What you get here is not what's shown in the advertisements. The ads show a display with networking icons, with different information of what's going on with all these hardware jacks, what's connected, what's disconnected. You don't get that here. This is not as advertised, and you'll see that immediately. This is what it looks like. Now ask yourself, does this look anything like the advertised digital display? All I see are brightly lit, filled-in horizontal boxes. Not as advertised. But okay, let's get it hooked up. Let's see what happens. Now the first screen you see on initial boot asks you to pair a Bluetooth remote. And at this point you can either pair the remote that came with the box, or you can pair an aftermarket Bluetooth remote. Now why would you want to do that? Because while the NengCat box itself is quite capable, the remote, the bundled remote, is quite limited, and it really handicaps the box. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the bundled remote doesn't have a mute button. I mute commercials. What about you? You sit there listening to all the commercials? I mute them. It doesn't have a page up, page down button. It doesn't have a microphone button. It doesn't have a play pause button. There's a lot of buttons that are missing on this remote that any advanced user is quickly going to miss. So I'm just mentioning you don't necessarily have to pair this remote. If you have a G20S Pro, you can pair that instead. And I want to mention also, the instructions on the screen, press and hold the OK and return buttons at the same time, that's for pairing the bundled remote. If you have an aftermarket remote, the buttons that you have to press will be different. So just realize that. Look in the instructions for your aftermarket remote and use those buttons. So now I'm going to press OK and return. We're going to see if this remote will pair. Okay, I'm pressing them. Remote light is blinking. Gonna wait here for automatic pairing. Remote still blinking. Bluetooth remote paired successfully. And we arrive here at the launcher. Now the next thing we need to do is go into settings, set the time and date, because nothing is going to work if the time and date are wrong. So that's the second thing we need to do. So we'll go over here to settings. I'm going to go to device preferences, date and time. Today is August 9th, 2025. The time is 3:28. Not sure if that's correct. That's about right. We just reset the box, so maybe it kept that. We're going to set our time zone. China Standard Time? I don't think so. And here we see some of the problems with this little remote. Very difficult to hit the select button. And the next thing, even though the location here, and I'm sure they got it from my ISP, is the United States of America, even though we speak English, they fail to alphabetize this list. Now, I don't know of any operating system or any programming language that doesn't have an sort alphabetically routine. They all have that. It's very easily accomplished, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's ignorance, I don't know if it's contempt for their non-Asian customers, or possibly both. But believe me, Chinese programmer, this does not make you look good. So okay, let's try to find my time zone. There it is. Okay, now the next thing, we have to pick up a network. So, device preference, I'm going to go back up here. Network and internet. Use this one. Now normally I would just speak the password. Here's our first instance where I'm going to have to click it through. And again, for an experienced user, this is now the last box we tested would not work on my 5G Netgear router. It just wouldn't work. Stood here for an hour and it wouldn't work. This box is going to connect immediately. Watch how fast this box is going to connect. There you go. How long was that? 3 seconds? How fantastic is this? What a great motherboard is in this box. Okay, the next thing we have to do, you do this immediately after the initial boot. We want to set the screen size. So we go to Device Preferences, Display and Sound, Advanced Display Settings, Screen Percent. Adjust the size of the screen. Okay, please use the IR remote controller. And by the way, isn't that a little clue? IR remote controller? Because this factory bundled remote, it works just as well as an IR remote. You can unpair it in Bluetooth and it continues to work perfectly. So okay, we're going to use this remote to control the screen percent. Now, since this box has already been on this TV, it's probably okay. But we're going to use the left arrow key right now. Bring it in. I'm going to show you how. Okay, we can see the screen is pulling in. We can see that the circle has turned into an egg shape. Now you just keep clicking it out. I saw a movement. Click it out. Okay, I saw it move again. Click it out. I saw it move again. Click it out. Moved again. Click it out. Moved again. Click it out, moved again. Click it out, moved again. Click it out. Ah, I saw no movement. Bring it back. Okay, had to swap the battery in the camera there. We got the horizontal all set. Let's do the vertical now. So I'm going to press the up arrow. Press it again. I'm not getting anywhere. So it's got to come down. Down. Did we see movement? Yep. What we're looking for is movement here at the top of the screen. Right there. Okay, the top went up. Top went up again. Circle looks pretty good here in the middle. One more time. Yep, went up again. Try another one. Just barely. No movement. So we bring it back down now. Perfect. That should be a perfect circle. Our screen should be set perfectly. Now, compare this to the last box I looked at. It cost twice as much. It took hours to try to set it up. This just sets up perfectly. Everything you do hardware-wise, with a big exception that we're going to get to, at least on this Samsung, sets up perfectly. But your results could be different. We're here on a Samsung, relatively new Samsung LCD LED TV. Let's go try it on a Dell Plasma TV. So now we're looking at the AbleCat on my Dell Plasma 42-inch television. We've got it connected. And here's what we get. Out of range. Can't display this video mode. Change computer display input, that would be the AbleCat display input, to 1024 by 768 60 Hertz. Well, isn't that what auto sync is supposed to do? The box has an auto sync. Shouldn't it just detect what the TV wants and switch to that mode? Obviously, auto sync does not work. Now, how would we do this? If this is the only TV that you own, how would you do this? You're stuck. It's not going to work. You would have to either connect up via the AV cable, the red-tipped AV cable, but it's not supplied with the box, and most people don't have that. Or you would have to find a friend who has a TV that this AbleCat TV box can work with, and then you could manually maybe set it to 1024 by 768 and bring it back here, and it would probably work. We're going to try that. But if this is the only TV you've got, you're stuck. You're stuck because auto sync does not work. Okay, so I'm going to hook this up elsewhere. We're going to reduce the resolution to 10, or manually set the resolution to 1024 by 768, and bring it back here and we'll see if it works. Okay, we're on a different TV now. So we'll go to settings. And device preferences. Display and sound. Advanced display settings. HDMI output mode. It's already selected at the top. So we're on the auto mode, and this is a big Samsung here, and it's a 4K TV, so auto has detected that that's what it is, and it set our resolution to 496 by 2160. So how come auto didn't work on that Dell Plasma TV? So the Dell Plasma wanted 1280, but I don't see 1280. So the plasma resolution is not supported here. How can that be? So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have to set this on a very low resolution and start from there and take it up and see which of these resolutions is going to work, because auto does not work. So let's start on the lowest possible setting and take it back to the Dell Plasma. So we've switched it to 480. Wow, looks terrible here. Yep. Okay. We'll take it back to that Plasma and see what it looks like. Okay, we're back on the Dell Plasma TV. AbleCat is set to 480p. That would be DVD resolution. Let's turn on the TV, see what happens. And it comes up. Okay, so our job now, it's not the best looking picture I've ever seen. My Mecool sure looks a lot better than that. I usually have a Mecool KM9 on this TV. So we'll go to settings. Can't hardly read it. Wow. Device preferences. Display and sound. Advanced display settings. HDMI output mode. Well, we know auto is not going to work, but we'll try it. Now, this, if auto works, it should pick the best resolution for this TV, but it doesn't. And we get stuck here. So if you do that, we're stuck again. We'll have to go back to another TV again. Okay, I'm back over at the Dell Plasma TV. You can see the AbleCat down here set up in the corner. I've got it plugged in this time using the AV cable. So I've got an AV cable running from the back of the AbleCat into the DVR. And of course the DVR is connected to the television. So let's power up the AbleCat, see if we can adjust the sync this way. Come on, AbleCat, turn on. There you go. There's always a long delay between pressing the button and having the AbleCat either turn on or turn off. So right now we're booting. Okay, Android is coming up. Now remember, we're connected by the AV cable, and this is what you get. Now, do you know why it's doing this? Because once again, the AbleCat's auto mode, auto selector, has selected the wrong television standard. I'm in the United States of America. We use NTSC. I think that stands for National Television Standards Committee. In Europe and other parts of the world, they might use the PAL system. This went to PAL. Even though location on the AbleCat box is the United States, even though the time and date are set correctly, it chose the wrong TV standard. So even that auto does not work. Now to fix it, we've got to go to settings. See if we can do this. You go to settings. We're not going to be able to see what we're doing here in the settings menu. But I do know that where we need to go is all the way down. So I'm just clicking like crazy. Make sure I get to the bottom of this menu. Now when I press OK, it should bring up what we want. There we go. Device preferences. So even though you can't see it, just click all the way down and then hit OK, because that's where it is. Now we go to display and sound. Now we go advanced display settings. And since we're on composite video, we go to the composite video output mode. Set the default standard. Well, shouldn't auto do that? And you can see it's currently set to PAL. We have a black and white picture. It's not fit to the screen properly. Let's try NTSC. And there you go. NTSC is now correct. We're going to back out of this and see what the picture looks like. There it is. Now, how many people would have known how to do this? To get their AbleCat box to sync to their big screen plasmas, their big screen 10-year-old LCD TVs. I think anybody with an LCD television, not the newer LCD LED type, is going to have this problem. So you're either going to need an AV cable and this procedure to get it to sync, or you're going to need to hook up to a different TV to get it to sync. Alright, let's go back now and we're going to do the HDMI. So we'll go to Device Preferences. Down here at the bottom, we can see it this time. Display and sound. Advanced display settings. HDMI output mode. Well, Alright, so we know that auto 1080p, for whatever reason, this box just isn't going to work. But let's try some of these other resolutions. Will it do 760? We already know it can't do 1080. This box is all screwed up because I have a MeCool KM9 that I usually run here. It works great. The picture's fantastic. The color is fantastic. Auto sync works perfect. You just plug the thing in. It works great. But this AbleCat box is unable to do this. Pretty much unable to do what every other TV box we own just does. Okay, we appear to be at 720. And it's not bad. That's the best we're going to get out of this box after jumping through hoops for the last half of an hour. That's the best we're going to get it to work with this plasma TV. But there's an even bigger problem with this TV box. Let me show you what it is. Okay, so now we have two big objections. Front panel LCD display with the clock, not as advertised. Auto sync doesn't work. Doesn't work all the time anyways. So let's look at this launcher. There are quite a few things I don't like about this. First of all, I don't care for the planet on fire. Why would you want an image on this beautiful Panda box of a planet on, that's like a end of the world type scene? What message is being conveyed here? I don't get it. I don't like it. I want to change it. But they don't let you put your own image in here. As far as I can tell, there's no way to change this image. You can't set wallpaper. You have to look at this end of the world graphic. I don't like it. It's okay. That's just me. Now the next thing. At the top of the screen, we have three icons. I'm going to switch to mouse mode. Here we have a Bluetooth icon. And I'm thinking, is that a button? If you click on it, well look, it blinks. So we've defined a button here in the upper right corner. Blinks when you click on it. So it's being trapped, but there's no link, there's no action other than the blink. That doesn't make any sense. So let's go over to the clock. The clock is not a button. I click on it, it doesn't blink, so I don't expect that it's going to take me to the time and date settings. And here is the date. Doesn't blink, so I don't expect that it's going to do anything. But when I come to this corner, these icons blink. And here's this USB icon. It tells me that I have a USB drive connected. I'll click on it. It blinks. It doesn't take me to the directory of that drive. Alright, here's the wireless. I click on it. It blinks. It doesn't take me to the wireless settings. So either undefine these buttons or make them do something. What's up with that? Alright, now the next thing I want to do is compare the wireless speed, because earlier I had said that this was a very surprisingly fast box. It keeps up with much more expensive boxes. So am I just exaggerating or is that real? Now we have three TV devices on this Samsung. I have an Amazon Fire Stick. Amazon Fire Stick sells for about the same price as this AbleCat box, so be a great comparison. How does this compare to the Fire Stick? We already know it's got twice the memory, twice the storage. Is the Wi-Fi twice as fast? Is it just as fast? Is it slower? Let's compare it. But we go here to, all right, I'm going to click out of mouse mode. We go here to apps, and there's no speed app here. So my ISP uses a speed app called, it's spelled OOKLA. As far as I know, it's pronounced Ookla, and that would be the name of a cartoon character, a cat in a cartoon TV show from who knows when. So that's what it's called. We don't have it, so I want to install it. We got a couple of app stores here. The one that you get with a box, Aptoid. This comes with version, see what's on here at the moment. Yeah, see, it comes with version 5.1.0. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I want you to update to 5.1.1. That doesn't work either. For what it's worth, if you can find 5.1.2, it will work on this box. So that went nowhere for us. So okay, they have another store here. The I don't know how you pronounce that. This is another store. And so I clicked on that, and I ended up downloading the Ookla speed test app from that app store. And it was so infected, it caused my ISP to temporarily suspend my internet service. And they sent me a very nasty letter. Now, we've had cable internet since the day it became available in my neighborhood, and that had to be 35 years ago at least. Maybe, I don't know, 1987 maybe. We've never ever gotten any nasty letter from the ISP. We've never been infected. But that app was so infected. Well, here's the letter.
Alert! Security issue with your internet account. Hello. Spectrum has been notified of a potential security issue with your internet service. A device using your network may be infected by malicious software, often disguised as a legitimate program or file. The infected device could be any computer, tablet, mobile device, set-top box, i.e., Fire Stick, smart home device, security camera, or gaming console connected to your network. Recommendations: update anti-malware, firewall, and antivirus software on computers, tablets, and mobile devices. Run a full antivirus system scan on each device that uses your Spectrum internet connection. Use a tool such as the Spectrum Anti-Bot Scanner or other bot removal scans in conjunction with your antivirus software to remove any malware. The Spectrum Anti-Bot Scanner can be located at spectrum.net/security. Consider taking your computers, tablets, and mobile devices to a repair professional. Update all operating systems that run on your devices, IE, Windows, Apple OS, Linux distro, or Android. Make sure that all routers, modems, cameras, set-top boxes, smart home devices, and gaming consoles are updated. Change passwords to email accounts, banking, and other financial sites after the device has been cleared of any virus or malware. Please be advised that Spectrum's acceptable use policy prohibits actions, whether intentional or unintentional, that disrupt our network. To view these policies, visit spectrum.com/policies/terms-of-service.
Now the question is, what is this app store doing on the box? These are the days when Google Play Store is supposedly deleting what they consider to be unacceptably unsafe apps. They delete apps right off your box that are perfectly fine, that we've been using forever. They won't let you install apps that are perfectly fine. But this comes with the box. Wonderful. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to use File Manager. I have a USB stick plugged into the box, and I'm going to get think I have it here. Oh, there it is, at the bottom. This one's not infected and it's going to work. It's the same exact version that I have on my Fire Stick, same exact version that I have on my V56, which is down here just to the left of the AbleCat. So we'll see who wins the speed test. Okay, open. Now you have to go into mouse mode, I think, to use this. Yeah, you have to allow it to access the device's location. That way it gets a server close to you. So I usually check while using this app. Make phone calls? No, I don't think so. Enable network scanning. No. Okay. It's already found my ISP. It's found the server, ISP server closest to me. We're going to click go. We're going to see what we get. Now, 204 down, we should have about 11 up. These results will change from moment to moment, from day to day. So I usually take 3 tests and average them. So let's try it again. First test was 204 down. That's pretty fast. Second test is only 157. Quite a difference. So right now we're averaging somewhere around 180. Let's try test 3. Okay, take my TV remote, hit source. Fire Stick is HDMI 3. We'll go there. Okay, on the Fire Stick now, same exact network. We can check that in a minute to prove that we're on the same network. Hit go. Same server. So our first test here, 110 megabits per second down. That's pretty fast, but 180 megabits per second is a lot faster. All right, let's try again. And the Fire Stick is pretty consistent. We're always around 110 megabits per second, which is pretty fast, but again, not nearly as fast as 180. Alright, so 110, 113, the average is like 111.5. Here's our third test. A little bit faster. We've crept up to for a second we had 120. 115. So hands down, the AbleCat box sells for the same money as the Fire Stick, much faster. Now, did I rig this test? That's the question. So let's go see what network this is connected to. Go to Settings. Go to Network. Should be on the 5G network. Let's see. Netgear 5G. There it is. Same exact network. So hands down, not even close. The $20 AbleCat Android TV box simply destroys the $20 Amazon Fire Stick. But okay, we have a third box on this same TV. Let's see, and that third box cost almost $100. Let's see how it compares to that third box. So I'm going to go back to my TV remote. I'm going to go over to HDMI 1. Here we go. Okay, now this is an X96 MAX V56. Speed test right here. And you can see the last time I ran speed test, do you see the results up here? What does that say? But let's try it today, right now, today. This is roughly 100 megabits per second faster than the AbleCat. And that's not to take anything away from the $20 AbleCat. That's still pretty good performance, what the AbleCat can do. But it's not as good as this one. This one is a lot faster. X96 MAX V56. Of course, you could probably own 4 or 5 AbleCats for the cost of one of these V56s. So you can see that this second test slowed down a bit. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, this is very important data, because I'm just not regurgitating advertising talking points. We're actually measuring this in real time. These devices are only, in this case, that's only about 2 inches away from the AbleCat box. No more than a couple feet away from the Fire Stick. Same network. Okay, let's see what network this is connected to. Go to Settings. There it is, Network and Internet. Netgear 49 5G. So okay, still pretty fast and proven. Okay, we're back on the AbleCat now, and I have connected a better remote. This is a Model W1 Plus. Got this from Temu about a week after I bought this box. Some of the differences, this is an Air mouse voice control remote. So you can see I can move the mouse across the screen. I can fill in a keyboard search a lot faster with this. Works great. I bought 3 of these. They all work perfectly. tested them all out. This has a nice lit up keyboard on the back. I can't find a single thing to complain about, and these were cheap. I don't remember the exact cost, around $10, maybe less. I like them. So we're going to use this from now on. So I'm going to show you some other things about this box that need to be fixed. Stat. I'm going to click on Files, and here's the File Manager. Now this is the exact same File Manager that I have on my Tanix TX6P. And when I click on Network Neighborhood, see, it finds my server. I can click on the server. It finds the shared folder. So what I have is a Netgear router. It's a Netgear R6050. It has a Ready Share USB drive stuck into it. You click on that. It wants your account and password. Works perfectly on my Tanix TX6P. You can type that account and password in here 100 times. It's not going to work. It fails every single time. And I'll tell you why it fails here. Because popular routers that have USB share drives, like the Netgear ReadyShare, use Server Message Block Protocol, SMB1, version 1. The TX6P supports version 1, this same app on this TX6P, but this version, which also says version 1.0, appears to be the same, no longer supports SMB1. And so you can be here forever and it won't work. And that is why it's not working with your share drive. No SMB1 support. Why? Why are you stiffing all of the Netgear router owners, all of the other brand router owners that also have USB share drives? Why is that? Can't do what my TX6P does. And when you check out the version of this file manager, it's the same exact version, but it can't be because someone has screwed it up. So why'd you put a file manager on here that doesn't work right? And people will be here for hours trying to make it work right, and you're never going to get it to work right. Now let's look at, I'm going to go into the apps folder. Somebody, I think, knew that, and they got this on the box. This is another file manager. So I'm going to click that. Yep, allow file access. This is version 4.28.32. And we can go to the LAN right here. We can go add server, scan for the server. Finds my router. And look, SMB1. It knows that this is an SMB1 server, and it works. I'm not going to put it in and share my password. It works, and it accesses all the share files. Now, if you have to hold that, then you say edit server. So if you happen to have an SMB2 share drive from a different make and model of router, you can click this and it'll switch to SMB2. So this file manager actually works. It works fine. And you put in your username and password, you connect immediately. So this one works. The other one does not. So why is it on the box? And the reason I raise these questions is that back in 2016, when I got my first media box, fact, that's why this channel came to be, Frustrated User Guide, because they trip you up non-stop and they don't tell you. But see, now we know. This does not work right. Why is it here? This does not work, period. Why is it here? This infects my network so badly, at least the app I got from here, the speed test app, that my ISP shut off my service. Why is it here? Okay, I don't have the latest firmware. Alright, let's click on Update. Here's the version that's on the box right now. It's dated 2024-11/20. That must be like almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 14:51. Check version. Checking. The current version is the latest version. Okay. It's not the firmware. Or let me put it this way. It is the firmware. It's not because I don't have the latest version. It's definitely the firmware. Now here's another very strange thing. Netflix is an included app, but Prime Video, which is free, a lot of it is free for Amazon customers, is not included here. So if you want Prime Video, you have to add it. It's not here. If I were selling this box because it has more potential than any other box I've ever seen, this would be a very different launcher. Very different. But everybody's free to disagree. I'm going to give you the very last thing before we put this to bed. This is a voice control remote. I'm going to press the microphone button and we'll see what happens. Now, in order to demonstrate the biggest problem with the NengCat box, I made a list of my favorite YouTube channels, and we're going to start watching them here on the comparably priced Amazon Fire Stick. So we're going to use the SmartTube app. This app is installed both on the Fire Stick and on the NengCat. And to verify that we're using the same version, we're going to go to Settings. Start right here. Go to About. And you can see right here, SmartTube 29.13. That's the latest version as of August 11th, 2025. SmartTube updates regularly, so by the time you watch this, there'll no doubt be much newer version. But as of today, both the Fire Stick and the NengCat box are going to be using SmartTube 29.13, latest as of today. Okay, now the first channel we're going to look for is Anna Marie Eats. So I press the search button. Then I click in the search box. Okay, now down here at the bottom, press and hold to say words and phrases. Okay, I'm going to press the microphone button. Anna Marie Eats. Now we click Next. Notice how it found all the Anna Marie stuff. And here we are at her channel. This is a wonderful food channel. We like it a lot. Anna Marie she was the winner of the Great New Zealand Bake Off Season 5, I think. She never brags about that. This is one of the best food channels out there, in my opinion. She's a terrific personality. Her channel is absolutely unique. All I can say is if Anna Marie had a shop close to where we live, we would be regular customers. So that's number one. Did you see how easy it was to get to Anna Marie Eats, even if we didn't know how to spell her name? Okay, let's go back out. We're going to look for the next one now on my list of favorite channels. And there's so many here. How about this one? More What the Rust. Let's try for that. Press and hold to say words and phrases. Okay, I'm going to press now. What the Rust. Now sometimes it gets it wrong. So it says wet the rust. And that's probably because I have a terrible accent. So maybe we'll try again. Clear. Try again. I'll try to pronounce the word what better. What the rust. There we go. See, that was my fault. Next. All the what the rust stuff mentioned right here. This is a great channel. I have learned more from Richard on this channel than perhaps from any other automotive mechanic. You have to watch this to see what I'm talking about. Now, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you go to this channel icon. You would click on it. Over here, open channel, subscribe to channel, add channel to the sidebar. Definitely great channel. We found it instantly. All right, let's keep going. Let's go back up there to the search icon. Let's get another one. How about Vice Grip Garage? Let's try that one. Click there in the search box. Okay, press and hold to say words and phrases. We got a B in there, so I want to get rid of it. I don't know how I got that. That's probably my fault again. Okay, so now we're going to press and hold to say words and phrases. Vice Grip Garage. There it is. Press next. There they are. That easy. This is a great channel. This guy must have hundreds of videos. My favorites are the very early ones where he's out in the middle of nowhere with his son. They're rescuing abandoned cars. You have to watch this channel. He's had tremendous success, all well deserved. If you're an old guy like me and you remember the Ozzie and Harriet show with the Nelsons, that would be David and Ricky Nelson. I could see this guy and his wife and their children. Overall, a tremendous show. I can't say enough good things about it. Okay, let's try another one. I'm not going to bore you, but I want you to get the idea of how this is supposed to work. All of these are just spectacular channels. Press and hold to say words and phrases. South Main Auto. Yep, when all else fails, if you live in upstate New York, people take their vehicles to South Main Auto with very good reason. Amazing channel. Can't say enough good things about it. Wonderful channel. How easy is that to find that channel? All right, let's try another one. Click in there. Press and hold to say words and phrases. I just press the mic button. Watch Wes work. Another really spectacular channel. Wes is one of the smartest people I've seen on YouTube. Can learn a tremendous amount from watching Wes. Wonderful, wonderful channel. Highly recommended. Alright, we're going to try one more because I want you to get the idea of how simple it is to use voice control on your Fire Stick. I'm going to try one more. Okay, press and hold to say words and phrases. This channel's real name is No Nonsense Know How, but it's abbreviated NengCat. So let's see if we can find it. NengCat. There it is. Alexa did okay. I've often thought of all the mechanics that I watch, brilliant, super intelligent people. If there were a MasterChef-like contest between all these spectacular guys, who would solve the problem the quickest, the fastest, the cheapest? And if my life depended on it, as much as I love Musty One and all of them, too many to mention, I think I would have to go with Chris. No Nonsense Know How. I know when I have had very difficult problems with my cars and nobody seems to know what's going on, this channel often has the answer. So okay, you get the idea. Voice control, it's spectacular. Now I'm going to back out. We're going to try one other thing. Alexa, what is the capital city of the United States of America? The capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. Okay, pretty good. Now let's go try the AbleCat. Switch inputs on my TV remote. We know it's HDMI 2. And we're back on the AbleCat. All right. Smart Tube. Let's prove that it's the same version. Smart Tube 2913, same as the Fire Stick. So if there's any difference in the way these two boxes perform, it's not because the versions are different. All right, we'll click on the mic icon. Click in here. Brings up a keyboard. All right, we'll click that. Microphone icon. Try saying something. Anna Marie eats. Try again. Anna Marie eats. Try again. All right, I'm going to turn off the air mouse. Tap to speak. Anna Marie eats. Nothing. Anna Marie Eats. Okay. See if we can get back up here. Nope, can't. Can we get up there? Back in the search box. Alright, come across this way. Can we get up to the mic icon? Not without switching to mouse mode. Alright, so we'll switch to mouse mode. Back to mouse mode. Try saying something. Anna Marie Eats. Vice Grip Garage. Watch Wes work. Nope, isn't going to matter. We can be here forever. In fact, the truth is, I have been here for almost 6 weeks. Working with tech support. I don't think working is the right word. Communicating with tech support. Informing them of this problem. Trying to get voice control working myself. I have tried a half a dozen different voice control remotes. It doesn't matter. Voice control does not work on this box. It doesn't work. What is absolutely simple on every other box in the house, plug in the USB transceiver, wait 30 seconds, it works. Not on this box. Not with any remote I have. Not with old remotes. Not with brand new remotes purchased in July of 2025 just for use on this box. Voice control does not work, no matter what you do. And tech support can't tell me how to make it work. It doesn't work. Tap to speak. Alright, doesn't work. Let's see if we can do it manually. Alright, I'm in the search box. Here's my mouse. Click here. Let's try it. I'm going to have to do this. Now I've got the fly mouse. That's a lot better than the step mouse. A, N, A, Marie. M, A, R, I, E, space, E, A, T, S, go. So there it is. You can find it. It just takes so much longer. Now I'm going to back out. And we're going to try this with the step mouse. So I'm turning off that. Is it even possible to do this with the step mouse? Alright, we're in here. Nope. Okay, watch. W, A. Remember, when I wanted watch Wes work on the Fire Stick, it took a couple seconds. C, H, space. Yeah, we're on the able cat now. It's so able. It's more like, I'm very sorry to say this, it's handicapped. Wes. Alright, we got something up top there. Can we get to that? I see watch Wes work up top. Grab that one. So there it is. It does work. It's just so much harder. And here's what it comes down to. Even though the Able Cat has twice as much memory as the Fire Stick, even though it has twice as much storage as the Fire Stick, even though the Wi-Fi is 50% faster than the Fire Stick, It's lame. Voice control doesn't work. All right, Google's on here. The only purpose for Google to be on this box is a search engine. It's voice control. Let's try it. All right. Turn this back on. Listening. Google, what's the capital of the United States of America? Oh, something went wrong. Try again. Google, what's the capital of the United States of America? Something went wrong. Try again. Google, what's the capital of the People's Republic of China? Something went wrong. Try again. Yep, you can be here forever. So, once again, we have an app included with the box that doesn't work. What's it doing here? What is that doing here if it doesn't work? What's this doing here? File Manager, if it doesn't work. How about this store that infects your box so bad that you get shut down by your internet service provider? What about this? I should have mentioned before, even when you get Aptoide working, it often tells you that a particular app you have may need updating. And if you update it with Aptoide TV, it no longer works. Yep, lots of stuff here that makes no sense to me. But again, others are free to disagree. So, is it a deal or a dud? Well, for me, I use voice control constantly, so this is a dud with a capital D. What a shame, though. So I hope this helps someone. Here's the report card. Thanks for watching.